Welcome back, another Devlog here. In the previous one I showed how the join session button was working end to end. That's still the case, but I've added an additional functionality to do with the URLs that you might know and love, which is the res session URLs. So if we take a res session URL now and we have it on our clipboard, we can paste it in and Resonite will try and join it. In this case, I'm incompatible because I'm running the development build, but it tried. It didn't succeed. I'm also going to hook this up to LNL NAT URLs, etc. So you'll be able to copy those and paste those around if you need to. It just gives you another alternative other than the button, which still works, by the way. It also works with resrecs, which are for worlds. Turns out that already worked. I think this is actually going to load me into... I should not have done this yet. It's going to load me into Udifesta. Great event, but not something you want to load in the middle of a video. Right. So yes, pasting in world links also works. However, there's an additional bonus feature, which is that if you go over to the settings tab, and we go down to the bottom, this is in MISC right now, and all the words, naming, and variable names, etc., are all subject to change. But you'll see that we've got import settings for session URLs that are currently set to open, and import settings for world URLs that is currently set to open. The options are open, spawn entity interface, and spawn URL entity interface. Entity interface is means world orb. It's just called that because we want to move from world orbs to using the entity interface system for that. Like I said, I might change the name. It's just at some point you have to name stuff, right? Or you get stuck in a loop and you can't write code. So I'll name it later. Anyway, so if we set these both to spawn entity interface and we come back here and we paste, instead of it opening the world, it's giving me a world orb in the world that I'm currently in. So say you found a cool world and you want to share it with a friend, you can now just paste in that resrec with that set to entity interface and it will spawn in the world orb. The same goes for a session. So if you go over to session, get this session URL, bring it over here, paste it in. I have no idea what that noise was. Like that won't have come across on your end, but there was just like weird clunk noise. Anyway, so it spawns in with the session orb, which then again you can click to join. So again, if you wanted to share it with a friend or whatever, then that option might be good. The last option here is spawn the URL entity interface. This one is just closer to the default behavior, which was before this update. If you pasted in a session URL, it would come in like that. There is a weird noise every time I paste occasionally. I'll figure out what that is. It might be a Windows thing. Oh. All right, I'll figure out the noise in a moment. But anyway, that's the last option. And that also works for resrec links. Resrec links that are items or public folders still work as well. I've only changed the world orb handling here. Cool thing as well is that this all works with the big green buttons as well. So if I go back to spawn entity interface, walk over here, and I'm like, hey, I want to join this session. I'll hit join session, open the protocol handler, and there's a session orb waiting for me back in Resonite. If you were in VR and you had like a browser in another window, like with one of the toolkits or overlay systems, then that would look a bit better because it wouldn't be as jarring where I had to alt tab back in. But there you go. It's looking good.